remember, there are people out here who are rooting for you. There are people out here who love you. And you got persecuted, prosecuted, and they railroaded you. Jason?
Oh my God.
I can hear it. What's going on?
Oh, they're beating some dude up.
The guards are beating somebody up?
A bunch of them. Golly. Golly.
I got it. If you go to the dungeon, it's the worst place in the world. It's the worst place in America.
Talk to you later, babe.
Love you, man. Later, Jason.
Thanks, man. Bye.
If you guys don't know my personal history, my father, I'm Colombian. My father was arrested when I was 5 years old and was put in prison for 20 years for chemicals. He worked for a guy named Pablo. And my family, when that happened, we moved to Alaska, and I was raised in Alaska. And part of that reason is because of my father's associations. And for a long time, I felt really bad about myself, that I came from bad stock, that I had some sort of criminality to me, that I was some sort of bad person because my father went to prison for 20 years. What I learned was that it was a prison business. They demonized chemicals so that they could lock up as many people as they can, because Ronald Reagan had created a for-profit prison industry. Today it's called Civic Core. It's a blue chip stock that Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump and Biden are all invested in. They all have stock in Civic Core. That's the name of the stock. And what I came to find out was that just because you get arrested and go to the dungeon, you might not be a bad person. And what I also found out is that I'm not bad at all. I'm a really good human being. And just because my dad went to prison has absolutely zero reflection on my soul of who I am as a human being. But it took a long time to get there. I was 40 years old before I finally realized it was a scam. And my father was Colombian, dark brown, big gold chains. You know, baby, everything's going to be okay, baby. Everything's going to be okay, baby. Don't worry about anything, baby. It's going to be okay, baby. Don't worry about it. We're going to get the lawyer. We're going to take his care. We're going to take care of this. Don't worry about anything, baby. It was my father. He had no idea going to court in his big butterfly collar with his gold chain. He had no chance. He was going to the dungeon. So, did you guys hear the guards beating the person in the background? If you haven't been in the dungeon and experienced that, when the guards are beating someone a few feet away from you, it's terrifying. You can get looped into that just like that. I don't want to talk about this. This is going to mess me up. I can't do it. But, it gives me real bad PTSD. I go right back to that place and I have a memory like a steel trap. They came in and they maced a guy, and then everybody in the cell. Sorry. Give me a second. I'm sorry. So I was in the dungeon and they came in and they maced a guy who they wanted to hurt. And when they maced him, everybody started coughing and gagging and wheezing. I was one of those people. And then they put him in torture cuffs. And instead of taking him away, they took him right outside of the cell, just right outside the barrack cell. And they torture cuffed him. And then they put him on his knees in front of us. And then as he was crying in front of us, saying, please, 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 my eyes hurt so bad. Please get me some water. They mocked him. And they continued to beat on him in front of us. And I was right there. I was literally 5 feet away watching. And there was absolutely nothing I could do. And they were literally beating him. And then when they weren't beating on him, he was bleeding and there was this crap all over his face. He was on his knees, had the cuffs behind his back. And it rocked me watching it. This is the reason why it's hard for me to talk to Jason on the phone, because almost every single time that I went to the dungeon, it was shocking. It knocked me right out of my seat every single time. When I was arrested in 2024, in March of 2023, when I was arrested in March of 2023, when they took me down to the dungeon at Las Vegas Metro Police, they kept us in torture cuffs the whole time. Someone fell asleep just a few feet down from me, and I watched the guard smack him on the chest with an open hand, like a WWE smack. It made a sound like, oh, so loud. Grabbed him by the shirt he was wearing, ripped him up into the air, so he lifted him up off the chair, and then slammed him back down. And what was his crime? He'd fallen asleep. He wasn't allowed to fall asleep right there. Thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. And I guarantee you this, I will not stop until I'm the governor. I swear to Christ, I will not stop until I'm governor, and we will change the dungeon system from the top down. I will not allow a torture chair. That will be banned. I will not allow a turtle suit. I will put clocks on the walls in every single jail that there is. I will change the entire system from the top down, and I will not stop. And you guys will remember, I'm sitting here branding who I am as a person for these few years. And after I've done thousands and thousands of hours of live streams, people will know who I am and what I'm about. And then when people say he's a racist, you can go, oh, really? Okay, sure thing. I know him. I talked to a guy on the phone today, Eric, and he said, Chille, he said, I've been following you for years. And I said to Eric, I said, oh, so then you know me? He said, yeah, I know you. And I said, then it's nice to meet you, Eric. And then we began the conversation about what we were talking about. And so that's why I'm spending so much time here live streaming, and I'll spend hours and hours and hours a day until we build up enough people where I can run for governor and win. And I will change everything. And once I change it in one state, the other governors in other states will have egg all over their face. The body cam footage will go to a third party. It will be distributed within 24 hours. I will start a new branch of government called the Warrant Department, where any kind of warrant for your arrest or any kind of warrant to raid someone's home has to go through the Warrant Department. Oh, we're not changing your contract with the city. We're not changing that at all. We've added an apparatus called the Warrant Department. You have to put your warrant through the Warrant Department. Oh, you want to go to someone's house? You got to put that through the Warrant Department. And that's what I'll do. And I will cripple their tyrannical jackboot thug pig ways. They don't care about us. We are us. They don't care about us. They don't give a shit about us. If I was in the dungeon, they wouldn't care if I died. So